Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Tiffany from Head Start, and today I'm going to read The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. On the front we see a picture of a flower, so that helps us understand what might be inside. What might the story be about if it's called The Tiny Seed and we see a flower? How does a flower start? Does it start out as a seed? Eric Carle is the author and the illustrator of this book. That means he wrote the words and did all of the pictures in the story. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than the rest. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? Autumn is the same season as fall. So when the leaves are changing colors on the trees, that is autumn. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. There's the tiny seed, and here's all of the others. It falls a little bit behind. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. So here are the big seeds, and here's the tiny seed. He's not as high as the others, but he didn't fall in. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry in the desert. The seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the other seeds. Here's the tiny seed. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down onto the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. There it is. Good thing it's small. The bird did not eat it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Good thing it's tiny. The mouse did not eat it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by. The sun shines. Rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. So here we see the roots. They're down in the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow. Here's their stem, and here are their leaves growing. They begin to grow up toward the sun and air. Plants need sunlight, they need water, and they need air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big fat weed. This is a weed. And it takes all of the sunlight and rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. So here's a weed, and here's a little plant. And this big weed takes all of the nutrients and things that plant needs, and this plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow a plant. The warm weather also brings children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plant as he runs along and, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. The neighbor would be this little flower beside the tiny seeds plant. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, 1, 2, 3, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud. And now a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. And that came from the tiny seed. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways, goes back and forth, and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away in the wind. The end. Okay, so that was our story for today. And now we are going to do a little activity about the life cycle of a plant. Now, a plant could be grass. A plant could be a tomato plant. It could be a flower. There's many different plants, but they all start the same way, and they all have the same life cycle. Okay, so first, this is the number 1. So the first thing that we need are seeds. So where do we plant seeds? We need dirt. So we need to dig a little area in the dirt, put our seeds in there, and cover it back up with dirt. Then we need water, we need air, and we need sunlight. And when we have those 3 things, next we will get a sprout. Okay, so when we plant the seed and add water and air and sunlight, we get these roots. Okay, and out comes a sprout. From that sprout, we get a stem with leaves. And then finally, we get our plant. And this plant is a tomato plant. And there's lots of different plants, like I said. But first we need seeds. Then we get a sprout and roots, and then we get a stem with leaves, and finally we get the plant. This is something you can do at your own house. Maybe outside when it gets a little bit nicer out, you can find a spot, dig some dirt, put some seeds in, cover it up, add some water if we don't get a lot of rain, and make sure it gets sunlight each day. And maybe you too can have a plant of your own. Hope to see you soon.